Hello, Namaste, and welcome to this talk, which is called Accessing Past Life Memories. Before we learn how to access past life memories, the first question to ask is whether it is possible or not. And if you are here in this talk today, I'm sure that deep down you know that maybe it is possible, or maybe you have already experienced your past lives. Maybe you remember your past lives the way I do. As of now, I remember about 11 or 12 of my past lives, and these have been profound, life changing experiences. And today I want to share with you how to do that because there are various ways. One of the most popular ways to do that is called past life regression. And this talk is not about past life regression because past life regression mostly requires someone to work with. You usually have a past life regressionist or a therapist or a hypnotherapist who works with you, who guides you through that process. And usually it's a long process. So even if you're doing a past life regression meditation, it will take you about, an hour or more than that, to at least an hour to get into that state, sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours. But the method that I want to propose today is a much shorter method. It's a much quicker method, although it does require practice. It does require us to meditate regularly because the more we meditate, it becomes easier for us to access these past lives. And accessing past lives and remembering past lives has become a very common phenomena, especially with people getting into meditation. Because the thing, as you will see in these 6 steps about accessing past lives, is that they lie deep into your consciousness. The more you go deeper and deeper into your consciousness, the more you start accessing them. And this is the reason that a lot of yogis, monks, they remember their past lives very easily. Many of them even remember their past lives from their birth. A lot of yogis, monks, and shamans. In fact, a lot of general people as well, not necessarily meditators or shamans, but there are many, many cases of children remembering past lives. So, how to do that? I will propose a method in this talk, and it's a 6 step method. And what happened with me was that initially, first I went for a past life regression session, and that's when I remembered my past life. But even before that, I have been remembering my past life through dreams. Also, then as I got deeper into meditation, as some of you would know, I'm a meditation teacher. And as I got deeper into my meditation practice, I started accessing those past life memories in those deeper states of meditation. So, how to do that? So, here are the 6 steps to access past lives. Number 1, superconsciousness. Now, what is superconsciousness? Superconsciousness is a deeper level of consciousness. As I said, that we have to go deeper into consciousness, into our consciousness, to access those past life memories. Now, the first level of consciousness we have is the conscious mind. If you take the analogy of an ocean, for example, the surface of the ocean where the waves are, it's like the conscious mind. And in your conscious mind, you are awake. You can see this waking world, right? You can see what's happening. You can easily notice what's happening all around you, this external world. You can notice your body, you can notice everything around you. So that's your conscious mind. But as you go deeper in the ocean, you start accessing the subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind has our habits, our automatic processes. For example, the beating of our heart is something which is subconscious, right? You don't have to consciously beat your heart or consciously think about beating your heart. It happens automatically. Similarly goes for all the systems in our body, our digestive system, our respiratory system. All these are automatic subconscious processes. Now, our habits are also subconscious, our patterns, our regular habits. Um, for example, if I have a nail biting habit, and I won't even realize that I'm doing that. It's just a habit, and it has become subconscious, it has become automatic. Similarly goes for smoking, or similarly goes for even useful things like driving is a habit. You don't have to consciously think of driving your car while you are driving it, right? If you are an experienced driver, it has become an automatic process for you. Sometimes you will go to the office, you won't even realize when you turn the steering, when you change the gear, or when you press the accelerator. It's happening automatically. Sometimes you would just be in your thought process thinking about something, and you will reach your office, and you won't even know how did you do that. You won't even remember when did you do all those things. So it has become an automatic process. So this is the subconscious mind. Now, as we go much deeper into the ocean, we start accessing those slightly dark areas, which is the unconscious mind. Now, the unconscious mind is where your deeper self exists, which is also called your shadow. That is that part of you which you sometimes you don't even know that it is inside you. There are some habits of ours which even don't we don't realize that we have those habits, those deeper habits. We have certain patterns that even we don't realize that we have those patterns. For example, these unconscious pattern can be something like, let's say you are attracted to certain kind of people. The question is, why are you attracted to those certain kinds of people? Now, something your childhood would have shaped that, right? For example, if someone was controlling in my childhood, used to control me, and if that was a parent figure, then I will feel comfortable by being controlled. I will make that association that my parent, although they are controlling, but they are also comforting. Now, what will happen is that we will develop a habit or a pattern of attracting people in our lives who are controlling, because whenever I meet a controlling person, I have that association of comfort from my parent. So I make that association and I start feeling comfortable. And this is how a lot of people attract narcissists in their life. But we don't even realize that we are doing that. They have become such an unconscious process. And this happened with me. I was controlled by someone in my childhood, and then I started attracting similar kind of people in my life because started feeling comfortable with them. So many of our habits, patterns, we don't know. We don't even realize that they exist, and they are the part of that deeper unconscious mind. Now, the thing you notice about as you go deeper into consciousness, your consciousness, it becomes more and more difficult to access our, deeper levels of consciousness. For example, it is very difficult to know about these deep habits and patterns that we have. The reason is that the way our society is conditioned, we are very much focused on the outer world. We haven't done an inner journey. We are not focused on going inwards. Rather, we are just focused on, noticing what are things outside of us. That's how we are conditioned. So, the past life memories lie even deeper than the unconscious. They lie much, much deeper. It's like that bedrock of the ocean, which is very difficult to access. And that's why it requires good meditation practice to access those deeper levels. And if you are a regular meditation practitioner, then it will become much easier for you. So that's where, those past life memories lie, that in that deep layer of consciousness near almost that bed of the ocean. So this level is super consciousness, this deepest level of yours, where your past life memories lie, is your super consciousness. This is the level of much deeper, the deepest level inside you. You can also call it, people call it by different names. You can call it the soul, you can call it the spirit, you can call it your astral body, but it is that deepest level of your awareness. It is that deepest awareness of yours, which is beyond the body, which is beyond your emotions, which is beyond your thoughts, which is beyond this persona that we have created in the world. It is that observer. If you are observing the body, if you can observe your emotions, if you can observe your thoughts, the question is, who is observing that? Right? So there is this deepest level of your awareness, consciousness, where those past life memories lie, and that is superconsciousness. This superconsciousness can mostly be accessed through deeper and deeper meditation practices. The more you meditate, if you meditate regularly, it will be much easier for you to access superconsciousness. Now, moving on to the next step, which is pineal gland activation. Pineal gland activation. Pineal gland activation is also called as third eye activation. Now, you might have heard about this term, but what is this? What is the pineal gland? Pineal gland is a small gland. It's actually a physical gland inside our brain, and it is very small. It is almost, the size of a rice grain. And it is also called third eye activation because, it represents the third eye chakra. If you know about the chakras, then it represents the third eye chakra. So, what is the significance of this pineal gland? Our pineal gland is that center which if activated, helps us access past life memories. How does it do that? Let me explain that a bit. So, your pineal gland has, if you study about the pineal gland, you will find out that the pineal gland has a crystalline structure. It has small crystals, and it has something which is known in physics as piezoelectric properties. Piezoelectric properties. Now, what happens is that when pressure is applied, any substance or any conductor which has piezoelectric properties, when mechanical pressure is applied on it, it starts generating electricity. That's what piezoelectric properties means. That if you are applying mechanical pressure on it, it will start generating electricity. Now, what this means is that if I apply pressure on my pineal gland, it will get electrified, and it will start conducting. It will start connecting to some frequencies. This whole universe works on frequencies. Its whole universe is a vibration. We now understand that with quantum physics. So this dimension that we are accessing, this world, this three-dimensional world, it is resonating, it's vibrating at a certain frequency. But there might be other dimensions which might be resonating or vibrating at a different frequency. So when I activate my pineal gland gets electrified, and it connects to different frequencies or different dimensions. And so I start accessing those deeper dimensions of my being where my past lives are happening, or my past life memories exist. This pineal gland is something like a transducer. It's something like a TV antenna, for example. What does your TV antenna do? What it does is it will connect to different frequencies, and it will display those frequencies in the form of images onto the screen of your television, right? So similarly, our pineal gland connects to these different frequencies of different dimensions, and it displays those images of these different dimensions onto the screen of our mind. This is what it does. So activating the pineal gland is a very helpful activity for accessing past lives. It enhances your capability to access past lives. So to activate your pineal gland, what we do is, as I said, we apply pressure on it. So how to apply pressure on it? There are various practices. One of the popular practices is known as Kundalini awakening, which I will not go into much detail because It's not, it will require another entire session on that. But in Kundalini awakening, basically you kind of raise your energy through the chakras and you apply that energy here. But I will tell you simpler methods to activate your pineal gland. The simpler methods are that you can first do a practice of concentration, concentrating your focus on this part of your head, just right between your eyebrows at the center of your forehead. If you do concentration there, if you focus your awareness there for longer durations, you will activate your pineal gland, because there is a saying that where your awareness goes, the energy flows. So basically, when you're placing your awareness there, the energy flows there, and automatically your pineal gland starts getting activated. Another practice you can do is to breathe in and out of it, to channel your breath as you're breathing in, channel your breath to this part, because your breath, it is also known as prana. Prana means life force, and you are actually applying your life force onto your pineal gland when you breathe in and out of it, and that's how your pineal gland gets activated. The third step is intention. Now, intention is very important. Intention is like that arrow which gives direction to where you are going. It's a good idea to have a clear intention of why you want to access your past lives, or what kind of a past life you want to access. Because there can be different kinds of past lives. No, we don't only have human lives. We have other kinds of past lives as well. We have been through a lot. We have been through many lifetimes. We have not only been human, we have been animal. We have been maybe something like an extraterrestrial species. We have maybe been something like an extra dimensional species. So it's not necessary you have only experienced human life. You might have experienced life in various forms. Also, it's a good idea to have an intention so that you can mention that what kind of an experience you want to have. Because if we go without intention, there is a possibility that we might also experience some past lives which are pretty dark. I have had many, past life experiences which were very, very dark. In fact, I remember one of my past lives in which I was almost like a six. I had 6 limbs, and I was like a demon or a monster, and I was in this dark realm, which was like a hell realm, and I was standing on a bridge, and it was a world of molten lava all around me, as if I was inside the earth or underground somewhere. And I realized that I was a very fearful being, and I used to kill other beings because of my own fear. So you might have experiences which are dark experiences. If you don't want to have dark experiences, in your intention, you can also state that you want to have, experiences which are pleasant experiences. So how I do my intention is, I would state that, my intention is to access my past lives in higher dimensions and only pleasant experiences. I mentioned that specifically. You can write down your intention maybe on a paper, or repeat that intention in your mind, whatever it is. The fourth step is raising vibration. Raising vibration. What does it mean to raise vibration? It means that if you want to have pleasant experiences rather than dark experiences, then it's a good idea to raise your vibration. Whatever vibration we are having, and that vibration can be different vibration. It can be a vibration of fear, which is a low vibration, or it can be a vibration of love, joy, happiness, which is a higher vibration. So if I am having a low vibration, if I am having a vibration of fear, then by law of attraction, that's what I will attract in my experience. I will have a fearful, unpleasant, dark past life experience. But if I am raising my vibration, if I am bringing love into my body, if I am bringing joy, happiness, peace into my body, then automatically I will attract pleasant experiences, and I will have pleasant past life experiences. I will remember the pleasant past life experiences. So, how to raise your vibration? Again, do a meditation. Most of the meditations help you to raise your vibration, especially heart centered meditations, because your heart is the center for love. And, a simple practice that I do to access past lives is to raise my vibration. First, is to I place my hand on my heart, and then I breathe in and out of my heart, and then I send out some loving energy to others, to my loved ones, to my neighbors, to animals, to insects, to all earth, to all existence. As I send out this loving energy, I my vibration raises, because when you give love to others, automatically your vibration will also be raised. You will be loving, right? So these are some practices which can help you to raise your vibration. Now comes the fifth step, which is active sensing. And this is the most critical step. And it is important. I would ask you to have your concentration now, because this is something which is important to understand. Active sensing is based on, and I created this method of active sensing, which is based on Carl Jung's method of active imagination. It is influenced by that. Carl Jung, as some of you would know, he was, one of the founding fathers of modern psychology, a great mystic. And he created a method for therapy, which is called active imagination. So what happens in active imagination is that you close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, you allow anything to come up. So this is different from visualization, because when you visualize, what you do is you intentionally bring some visuals into your mind, right? But in this, you are not intentionally bringing some visuals into your mind. You are allowing anything to come up. So what Carl Jung would do with his patients is he would tell them to close their eyes and to see as if they are looking outside, but their eyes are closed. So if you are looking with your eyes closed, what happens is that you will be kind of looking at the inner side of your eyelid, right? But it is dark, totally dark. Now in this darkness, what will happen is maybe initially you will not see anything, but gradually things will start to appear. First, you might see some patterns, some light patterns. They will not make sense. But gradually, you will, as you keep looking, you will start seeing that those patterns have turned into shapes, or fractals. And then as you keep looking and keep looking, at one point of time, you will start seeing visuals and images as you keep doing this practice. And then those visuals and images, these are the visuals and images. If you keep noticing them, there will come a point of time that you will start seeing those visuals from your past lives. Initially, you might not see those visuals from your past lives. Initially, you might see images which are from this lifetime, which, for example, you just noticed something a while ago. Maybe you were looking at a tree, some moments ago, and as you close your eyes, what you see is a tree, right? So that doesn't mean that you are seeing a past life necessarily, because you just saw a tree and you're seeing that tree in your visual. But it means that initially those images will come from this life, but as you keep going deeper and deeper, if you stay longer in this process, and if you clear your thoughts, there will come a point of time when you will start noticing visuals from other lives as well. So it's all about clearing the thoughts. If you are having thoughts in your mind, you will see visuals from this lifetime. But if your mind is clear, and that's why it's a good idea to do a mind clearing meditation before doing this. If your mind is clear, then you will start noticing visuals from your deeper levels of consciousness, and those visuals from past lives will come up. So this was active imagination, but active sensing goes beyond that, in which you don't only notice visuals, but you also notice how you are feeling. You also notice, what sounds are you listening to. You also notice smells, and you might start having sounds which are beyond from this world, which are beyond this world. you might start having feelings and emotions which you can notice, which might have a connection with those past lives. So in active sensing, you are also involving your other senses, and not only your visuals, but all of your senses. And you're noticing everything about how you feel, what are you listening to, what are you smelling, what are you seeing, what are the sensations in your body. You notice everything. The final step is called connecting the dots. Now, what does this mean? Connecting the dots means that you are connecting all those experiences that you have had. So when you do active sensing, whatever experiences you have, it's a good idea to write them down. And if you're writing down, for example, let's say that you saw a tree, right? And then you saw a swing, and then you notice you heard a sound of laughter and you feel joy. Then maybe when you write these different pieces down, then you can connect them, and then maybe you will realize when you connect these dots that, okay, maybe you were a child who were, on a swing which was tied to a tree, something like that. So as when you notice all these images, sounds, it's a good idea to first create a diary and write down these experiences separately. But then when you look at all these experiences, you start connecting the dots, and a story will start building up, and then you will notice the story, that what that story is. So for connecting the dots, it's a good idea to journal different experiences and start connecting them to see that what story of your past life is coming up. I hope you found value in this talk. And I will be posting some more videos on related topics. So you can, if you are liking these videos, and if you would like to have more videos on related topics, then you can subscribe to my channel here. And I would love to see you soon. Take care.